what are some of the greatest lessons that you think that Bashar has brought in through, or you've channeled in through yourself, that you want to kind of put out into the world?
Well, I would say, again, the basic thing is what he calls the formula, which is a very simple 5-step idea. Number one, it's very critical from his point of view to follow your passion, what he calls the vibration of your true core self. Because we have, from his perspective, a physical mind and we have a non-physical higher mind, the part of us that's still in spirit. And the two work together, theoretically, when we allow it to, as a guiding system. So he's saying the higher mind communicates to the physical mind in an energy language. Our physical bodies and physical minds translate those energy messages from our higher mind into the physical sensation we call passion or love or excitement or curiosity or attraction. So when we are willing to act on the passion that is presented to us, when we find something that we're suddenly passionate about, acting on it is what responds to the higher mind and says, I heard you. I hear you telling me that the reason that this excites me is because this is me. This is my path. This is my vibration. Because according to Bashar, while the higher mind speaks in terms of energy messages, the physical mind language is action, not words. We're in a physical reality. You need to take physical actions to allow things to happen. So when we are willing to act on the passion that the higher mind guides us towards, we're responding to it and creating a dialogue that then can continue. If we don't act on the passion, the higher mind isn't going to send us any other opportunities to do so until we act on what it's already given us. So acting on your passion forms a strong connection or a strong awareness of our connection to our higher minds and allows us to receive the guidance and act on that guidance that leads us down the path that is true for us. The second thing is to take that action to the best we can, as far as we can, until we can act on it no longer. So it's like you explore every path, every opportunity to do what it is that excites you, what you're passionate about, until you just simply can't find any other way to do it. And that means at that moment, something else needs to be acted on. And it may seem to have no connection to what you were doing. But if it is your highest passion at that moment, it's the thread of passion that you follow that tells you it is connected. Because who knows, you may be doing something like making a movie, and suddenly there's something that comes up that seems to be an obstacle, and you just can't get from A to Z anymore. So you look around, you go, well, what can I do out of all the things I can choose to do today? What can I do that is more exciting than any other option, even just a little bit more exciting? Well, I feel like taking a walk on the beach. Well, how does that connect to me making my movie? I don't know, but I'm going to follow it. And while you're taking that walk on the beach, synchronicity comes in and you overhear a conversation between two people that is the answer you were looking for to move you ahead in making your movie. That's how it works. Everything is interconnected. But when you follow the passion, synchronicity makes that evidential. So the third thing is to act on that. And this is the tough thing for most people. You have to act on your passion to the best you can with absolutely zero insistence or assumption as to what you think the outcome should be. Because the truth is, we have no clue what the best outcome actually should look like. Sometimes we might guess, but we don't really know. So by dropping the expectation and the insistence on what the outcome should look like, we allow the higher mind and synchronicity to bring us the outcome that actually will work best for what our true purpose in being here is all about. And the next thing is, no matter what happens, even if it's something we technically don't prefer, that's not vibrationally compatible with us, that doesn't feel right to us, we have to stay in a positive state, because we have to know that that happened for a reason, and that there is a way, by staying in a positive state, that we can actually get a benefit from that non-preferred thing happening in our lives. So a simplistic example would be, something can come up that we don't prefer, if for no other reason to teach us more clearly the difference, by contrast, between what we don't and do prefer. And that's a preferable way to use what you don't prefer. It's a positive way to use what you don't prefer. It's here for a reason. How can I, by contrast, figure out with clarity how I can go more in the direction of what I do prefer by seeing more clearly what I don't prefer. It clarifies your mind, it clarifies your understanding of the path you're on to see things sometimes in contrast. The fifth thing, the last thing, is you have to work on your beliefs and you have to let go of all the fear-based ones, all the negative ones that are holding you back from being yourself. You know, I'm afraid I might fail, I won't be good enough, people will think I'm nuts. All these things have to clear out of you so that this mechanism, this formula, can work more efficiently within you. And when you do all of that, when you take those steps and apply them as precisely and cleanly as possible, the synchronicity in your life goes absolutely crazy, to crazy magical levels that are almost beyond belief. And your life just becomes this ecstatic explosion of synchronicity, one after another, to the point where you could tell people stories and they almost won't believe you because it just seems too good to be true, too magical, too weird, too crazy. I can give you a perfect example. When we were making the documentary First Contact, and we were looking for a narrator, right? We wound up with someone else, but the first narrator I wanted was this particular actor who's very well known. I won't mention his name. And we just said, you know, how are we going to get in contact with this actor? Well, okay, we'll send some kind of a letter to his agent. We'll look up his agent, we'll send a letter. The next day, a friend of ours wanted to have lunch and recommended a restaurant I never go to. But we said, fine, we'll go there. I walked in the door, and who was walking out? This actor. And it was just like, hey, we just sent your agent a letter to explain that we would like you. He said, well, yeah, okay, I'll take a look. But the fact, out of a city of, you know, millions of
Millions.
people, in a restaurant I never would have gone to, except my friend recommended it, this actor, the one we just sent a letter to the day before, was right in front of my face, and I got a chance to explore that possibility with him. Those are the kinds of things that happen consistently when you apply this formula in your life. It's just like everything starts to fall into place. Everything shows you that it's interconnected.